Intro and hook. At a self-reported peak of over 700 pounds, Pauline Potter held a world record, but it wasn't one to be proud of. It was a prison. She was so large she couldn't manage the simplest tasks, so immobile that her world had shrunk to the four walls of her room. This isn't just a story about weight, it's a story about survival, where every day was a fight. And on the front lines was her own son, Dylan. Dylan wasn't just helping his mother, he was keeping her alive. This is the story of a woman who earned a dangerous title and the agonizing battle she fought to reclaim her life, her health, and her freedom. Section 1. The Rock Bottom. In July 2012, the Guinness Book of World Records officially recognized Pauline Potter of Sacramento, California, as the world's heaviest living woman. The number that earned her this title was a staggering 293.6 kilograms, or 647 pounds. For Pauline, this wasn't just a number, it was a physical reality that controlled every moment. Her mobility was so limited that a motorized scooter was her only link to the outside world, a world she felt increasingly cut off from. Simple things most people don't think twice about, like bathing or getting dressed, were monumental efforts. She needed help with the most basic personal aspects of her care, and that responsibility fell to her son, Dylan. He was her support system, her caregiver, and her lifeline. This life didn't happen by accident. Pauline grew up in a home where food was at the center of everything, used for both comfort and celebration. With her mother weighing over 400 pounds and her father over 600, food wasn't just for nourishment. It was an emotional coping mechanism she learned from a young age. But the very thing she used to cope with the world eventually trapped her from it, creating a vicious cycle that was closing in on her. Section 2. A desperate cry for help. For many, hitting rock bottom is a private moment. For Pauline, it became a public one. Her decision to contact Guinness World Records wasn't about fame. It was a desperate gamble to get noticed. She believed that by claiming this shocking title, someone somewhere might see her story and offer the help she so badly needed. Her bet paid off. The notoriety brought her to the attention of the producers of the TLC show My 600lb Life. This was her chance. She moved from California to Houston, Texas, to be under the care of the show's famous bariatric surgeon, Dr. Yunan Nozaradan, better known as Dr. Now. Her fight for survival was about to become a public spectacle, but as Pauline would soon find out, getting help is one thing, accepting it is a whole other battle. Section 3. The Grueling Journey. From the start, Pauline's time on My 600lb Life was full of conflict. Dr. Now, known for his tough love approach, put her on a strict 200-calorie diet to prepare her for weight loss surgery. For Pauline, whose life revolved around food, this felt impossible. She clashed with Dr. Now, resisted his plan, and struggled to follow the diet. In a shocking twist that frustrated Dr. Now and stunned viewers, Pauline didn't lose weight in her first few months, she gained it. She arrived at Dr. Now's office weighing 678 pounds, having put on even more weight while in the program meant to save her. Her self-destructive habits seemed too deep to break. At one point, she was on the verge of being kicked out of the program. Dr. Now took the drastic step of hospitalizing her to monitor every calorie, but even then, her resistance continued. By the end of her first year, she had lost only 149 pounds, far less than what was needed. Despite the immense struggle, she eventually managed to lose enough weight for Dr. Now to approve her for surgery, a critical turning point. Yet even after the procedure, the fight wasn't over. As Pauline later said, "The doctor fixed our stomachs, but he didn't fix our minds." Section 4. The Relapse and the Realization. The time after her surgery should have been one of progress, but it became one of her darkest chapters. Pauline's old habits returned, and the weight crept back on. This time, she wasn't just fighting a food addiction. She developed a new dependency on pain medication, sending her spiraling further. The crisis came to a head when she was rushed to the hospital. Doctors found a burst ulcer had caused sepsis, a life-threatening infection. Lying in that hospital bed, facing a new and immediate threat, something finally clicked. This terrifying experience was the brutal wake-up call she needed. The will to live was finally becoming stronger. With a new sense of purpose, Pauline decided to re-enroll in Dr. Now's program, and this time, she was truly ready to fight. Section 5. The Redemption and Transformation. This time was different. Pauline returned to the program with a dedication she'd never shown before. The fight was still incredibly hard, but her mindset had completely changed. She fully committed to the diet and exercise, and slowly the results started to show. She transformed from one of the show's most difficult patients into one of its greatest successes. She eventually lost around 300 pounds, a milestone that allowed her to qualify for skin removal surgery in 2019, another huge step in reclaiming her life. From a peak self-reported weight of over 700 pounds, her transformation is incredible. Photos shared years after her journey began show a woman who is almost unrecognizable. She is no longer confined to a bed or a mobility scooter, having regained her independence. Her journey didn't just free her, it freed her son. Dylan was no longer her full-time caregiver and could finally just be her son, allowing their strained relationship to begin to heal. Pauline hadn't just lost weight, she had gained a future. CTA and conclusion. Pauline Potter's story is a raw, powerful look at what it takes to change. It shows that hitting rock bottom isn't the end. It can be the foundation for building a new life. She went from holding the title of the world's heaviest woman, a record born of despair, to becoming a true source of inspiration. Her path wasn't a straight line. It was messy, full of setbacks and near-fatal crises. But her success proves that it's never too late to fight for your life. She had to lose one version of herself to find another, and in doing so, she wrote one of the most compelling comeback stories ever told. If you found this story as inspiring as we did, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more amazing journeys of transformation. See you in the next video.